The special bag that Princess Diana carried during her Africa trips held a secret the media never saw. Inside were millions of dollars, reaching Africa's poorest regions without being caught by cameras. January 17th, 1997, as the sun set in Luanda, the capital of Angola, Princess Diana sat alone in her room at the Meridian Hotel. On the table were two different bags. One was the official handbag the media always saw. The other was a special bag no one knew about. This second bag held Diana's biggest secret in Africa. That night, Diana wrote in her diary, "Today, my official program was to visit minefields. But my real mission is much bigger. The money in this bag will go to places the media can never learn about, because real help is done when the cameras are off." This diary entry would be found 26 years after Diana's death and would completely change the perspective on her. In 2023, Diana's former security officer, Ken Worf, decided to speak for the first time after retiring. In his exclusive interview with the BBC, he began with these words: "I'm going to tell you things about Diana's Africa trips that the media never knew. She wasn't just a princess, she was running a secret operation." According to Worf's account, Diana's Africa visits were very different from what was portrayed in the media. Yes, the minefield and hospital visits were real, but these were covers hiding Diana's real purpose. Diana carried a special bag on every Africa trip, Worf said. This bag looked normal, but it contained cash. Sometimes $50,000, sometimes $100,000. I even remember once she carried $200,000. The source of this money was surprising. Diana created this fund by selling her own jewelry, withdrawing money from her private accounts, and sometimes even setting aside part of her royal salary. During the Angola visit, there was a stop not on Diana's official program. The media reported that Diana returned to her hotel after photographing at the minefields, but the reality was very different. Local guide Antonio Santos says he can never forget that day. Diana secretly left again 2 hours after returning to the hotel. This time she had only one security officer and a translator with her. She asked me to take her to Sambizanga, the poorest area of Luanda. Santos took Diana to the city's most impoverished neighborhood. Here was a small orphanage not in official records, receiving no state support. 30 children lived in a building with almost no facilities. When Diana saw the orphanage, her eyes filled with tears, Santos recounts. But she didn't cry. Instead, she opened her bag and gave Director Maria Santos an envelope. The envelope contained $75,000. Orphanage Director Maria Santos, no relation to Antonio, describes that day. "I had never seen so much money in my life. Diana told me, 'This is for the children. School expenses, food, medicine, whatever is needed, but don't tell anyone. This is our secret.'" Diana spent 2 hours at the orphanage that night. She attended to each child individually, sang English songs to them, played games. The media never saw these moments because Diana hadn't informed anyone. This incident was just one example of Diana's secret operations in Africa. Security Officer Worf revealed that Diana conducted similar secret missions on every Africa trip. During her 1995 Zimbabwe visit, Diana visited an AIDS clinic outside Harare in addition to her official program. Clinic doctor Dr. Peter Mukamuri describes that day. "Diana came without any notice. She had a small bag with her. She said, 'This is for the clinic,' and gave me the bag. It contained $60,000. It was like a fortune for us at that time." Dr. Mukamori says Diana also gave specific instructions about the clinic. She told me, "Use this money for AIDS patients, especially for children, and please don't tell anyone I gave it. Don't let the media advertise this." Diana's secret aid wasn't limited to money. She was also making long-term plans. In every place she visited, she established connections with trustworthy people and planned to send regular aid. During her 1996 Botswana visit, Diana met Dr. James Mitchell, a local doctor. Dr. Mitchell was working in a small village outside Gaborone, trying to treat HIV/AIDS patients. When Diana came to our village, she saw how difficult our situation was, Dr. Mitchell recounts. There were no medicines, no equipment, sometimes no electricity. Diana asked me, "What would it take to turn this into a proper clinic?" When Dr. Mitchell gave the needs list, Diana wasn't surprised. That evening, as she returned to her hotel, she left me an envelope. It contained $100,000, but more importantly, there was a note. This is just the beginning. I'll send regular aid every month. Diana kept her word. According to Dr. Mitchell, Diana regularly sent money every month until her death. The clinic became one of the region's best AIDS treatment centers. The most surprising thing was that Diana never wanted to advertise this, Dr. Mitchell said. When the media came, she asked us not to mention Diana's aid. How Diana organized these secret operations was also a matter of curiosity. Former Private Secretary Patrick Jeffson spoke about this for the first time in 2023. Diana had a special system for her Africa aid, Jeffson said. It was a completely separate organization from official royal aid activities. Diana used her own personal funds and didn't account to anyone. According to Jeffson, Diana was very careful when organizing these operations. She would make plans that the media couldn't track. She would use hours outside the official program, working with a few people she trusted. Diana's biggest secret project was in Mozambique. In 1997, just a few months before her death, Diana visited Maputo. The official program included minefield and hospital visits. However, Diana launched her life's biggest secret project here. Diana's visit to Mozambique wasn't coincidental. The country was slowly trying to recover after a 16-year civil war, 1977 to 1992. But war's biggest victims were children. According to UNICEF reports, 250,000 children had lost their families during the war. When Diana visited Maputo Central Hospital in her official program, she saw the condition of traumatized children. Child psychiatrist Dr. Carlos Cardoso describes that day. Diana spent an hour in the children's ward. She met children who had lost their families in war, some who had been used as child soldiers. I saw her cry while talking to 8-year-old Joaquim. Joaquim never spoke. His family had died in a landmine explosion. Dr. Cardoso says he can never forget the moments Diana spent with Joaquim. Diana knelt beside Joaquim and brought him drawing papers. Joaquim took the red pencil and drew only dark lines. Diana asked him, "What is this, Joaquim?" The child spoke for the first time. Blood. There was so much blood. Diana's eyes filled with tears, but she tried to stay strong. "You're safe now," she said in a soft voice. "No one can hurt you anymore." Then she took a blue pencil and drew sky on Joaquim's paper. "Look, there are beautiful things in the world, too. You can also draw beautiful things." Joaquim hesitated, then took the blue pencil and added a small sun to the sky Diana had drawn. I'll never forget the expression on Diana's face at that moment. She had awakened hope in the child as if she had witnessed a miracle. That evening, Diana met with local activist Graça Machel, Nelson Mandela's wife, at a private dinner. Machel describes Diana's visit. "Diana told me about Joaquim. I saw the pain in that child's eyes," she said, "but I also saw hope. These children don't just need shelter, they need healing. We must help them build a future." Then she proposed a very important project to me, a rehabilitation center for war-affected children. According to Michelle, Diana had made very detailed plans for this project. Diana didn't want to just give money and leave. She had a very specific vision. She told me, "This center shouldn't just be a shelter. Children's psychological wounds must heal. They must be prepared for the future." Diana's envisioned center would be a comprehensive, complex meeting, both psychological and physical needs of children. The center would have special rooms for trauma treatment, play therapy areas, and art workshops where children could express themselves. Diana thought children's education should continue, so she planned reading-writing classes, vocational courses, and a small library. Diana especially wanted small houses resembling family environments for children to return to normal. Michelle continues. Instead of large dormitories for 100 children, she proposed they live in small houses for 8 to 10 children. This way, children could feel family bonds again. According to Michelle, Diana was ready to allocate $500,000 for this project. This was a very large amount at that time. Diana told me, "This center must heal children who experience trauma in war, but my name shouldn't appear anywhere." The project details were left incomplete with Diana's death. However, Michelle managed to open a smaller-scale center with the money Diana left behind. The total amount of Diana's secret operations in Africa was surprising. Financial advisor George Smith, pseudonym, gave these figures in his 2023 statement. Diana's personal Africa aid totaled $2.3 million between 1992 to 1997. This was a very large amount at that time. Diana sold her jewelry and cashed in her investments for this. According to Smith, Diana was very systematic in making these aids. She kept separate files for each country. She tracked which organization received how much money and how it was used, but she never shared it with the media. The revelation of Diana's secret operations also led to a different perspective on her official visits to Africa. The photo shoots and speeches the media focused on were actually covers hiding Diana's real purpose. The minefield visit in Angola was one of Diana's most famous Africa moments, but now it's understood that Diana's real purpose wasn't just drawing attention to landmines. She was also establishing a secret fund for landmine victims. During Diana's stay in Angola, her meeting with 12-year-old Carlos Mavungo, who lost his leg in a landmine explosion, also resonated greatly in the media. However, what the media didn't know was that Diana had privately given Carlos's family $25,000. Carlos's mother, Rosa Mavungo, told this story for the first time 26 years later. After the photo shoot, Diana took me to a separate room. She gave me an envelope and said, "This is for Carlos's treatment. Get him the best prosthetic leg. Let him continue school too." According to Rosa, Diana also promised regular support for Carlos's education. She said she would send money every month. And indeed, money came every month until the day she died. Carlos finished university thanks to her. Carlos Mavungo is now 38 years old and works as a mining engineer in Angola. Diana's help completely changed his life. Diana didn't just take my photograph. She built my future, but she never advertised it. The most impressive aspect of Diana's secret Africa operations was her philosophy of aid. Diana believed that help should be done silently. Security Officer Worf conveys Diana's views on this. Diana used to tell me, "Real help isn't posing for cameras. Real help is what's done when no one sees. The help you do when media isn't there is the most sincere." This philosophy shaped all of Diana's Africa visits. Official program was for media. Secret program was for real help. Diana's last Africa visit was to Bosnia in June 1997. During this visit, Diana continued the same special bag operation. In the country devastated after the war, she made secret aids for orphaned children. Social service specialist Amira Hadzic, working in Sarajevo, describes Diana's visit. After the official program, Diana visited our center. We had 40 war orphan children. Diana attended to each child individually and left a bag with our director when departing. According to Hadzic, the bag contained $80,000. Diana said, "This is for the children. Food, clothing, school expenses. But don't tell anyone I gave it." When we asked why she wanted to remain secret, she said, "Because aid isn't advertisement." After Diana's death, these secret aids didn't continue. Because these were Diana's personal projects and no one knew the complete list. In 2023, when the scope of Diana's secret aid in Africa was understood, many organizations started new projects in her memory's name. William and Harry, inspired by their mother's secret work, focused on Africa projects in their own charities. Prince William said in his 2023 statement, "Learning about our mother's secret aid in Africa greatly affected us. She was truly a modest person. She did aid for her heart, not for advertisement." Harry made a more emotional statement. "Our mother always told us, 'The best help is help no one knows about.' Now I understand what she meant. Real change happens silently." The truth learned about Diana's secret operations in Africa showed that she wasn't just a princess, but also a real humanist. The images and speeches the media focused on were just a small part of Diana's real character. Ken Worf, in his final words about Diana, said, "Diana appealed to hearts, not cameras. Her secret aid in Africa is proof of her real character. She lived not to be famous, but to change the world. Today, thousands of people who benefited from Diana's secret aid are alive. The schools, hospitals, and clinics she opened are still operating. Children who grew up in orphanages are now adults and have started their own families. Angola orphanage director Maria Santos summarizes Diana's legacy. Diana's money ran out, but the hope she left will never end. She didn't just give money, she gave us love. And love is the only thing that never ends. Casa da Esperança, House of Hope, established in Mozambique, is still active today. Center director Ana Paula Querinea describes Diana's legacy. Diana didn't just give money, she gave hope. She couldn't forget the pain she saw in children's eyes. Children who grew up in our center today became doctors, teachers, engineers. Diana's dream came true, just on a smaller scale. The millions Diana carried in her special bag weren't just money. In that bag were hope, love, and desire for change. And these values continue to live in Africa even 26 years after Diana's death. 8-year-old Joachim started speaking after the day he met Diana and healed over the years. Joachim, now 34, works as a teacher in Maputo and helps children who have experienced trauma themselves. Diana didn't just give me the blue pencil, Joachim says. She gave me the power to dream again. This story once again proves that Diana wasn't just a princess. She was also a secret philanthropist, a silent agent of change, and a real-world citizen. Her secret mission in Africa is perhaps the greatest royal legacy. Diana's special bag no longer exists, but the legacy she left continues to live in every corner of Africa. And perhaps the most beautiful part is that none of this was done for advertisement. Diana's secret operation in Africa is the finest example of how real aid should be.